Hey, what's up, everybody? I wanted to come back really quickly and give you a little rundown of a barrel that I'm pretty excited about. It's one of the ones that we picked on the inaugural picks for the Entry Proof podcast. That's a podcast that Drew P. Whiskey and I did. And we went to Starlight Distillery and we picked 2 barrels for the podcast. However, there was one barrel that I had earmarked from a previous visit tasting some barrels with Christian Huber, and I was excited to go back and taste it. Now, while we didn't pick it for the podcast, some of the guys who were on the pick with us did pick it up for the private group. So we did get some of those bottles, and that is this Starlight, a 5-year cognac finished rye, 109.4 proof. And I wanted just to give a rundown of this barrel for those of you who probably have heard me reference it on the podcasts, or in general, those who are just interested in Starlight who'd want to check out a little bit of what they're doing. Feel free to subscribe or like this video. Let me know what you think about it. Shoot me some comments below. Let me know other things you want to hear me talk about in future videos. Would love to hear it. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to taste this barrel, give you my tasting notes, and then I've got a bottle over here that I want to make a nod to in regards to this too. So what's interesting about this rye is I feel like the Starlight ryes in general, their straight ryes, have a specific profile to them on the palate, and to me that is like it's rye spice and then it's chocolate malt, and that note is pretty prominent in a lot of the things that I've tried. It's no different here, specifically on the first few sips of the pour. But what I love about the nose is that it's sweetly complex. You get some of the familiar notes, but then the more it sits open, the more nuance kind of comes through. You get a subtle spice. You get something that reminds me of like old books. Like I'm in a library and I smell like old paper, old stacks of books. You get vanilla in there. You get citrus in there. You get the chocolate in there, and then you get some notes of wood. It's not really oaky, but it is like a drier note of wood in there too. Let's go ahead and go in the palate. Citrus is popping a little bit more in those. So again, once you let it warm up, once you visit it a few times, yes, you start off with some rye spice. You start off with some chocolate malt notes. That's what I like to call it. But it expands beyond that. You get this pretty, almost floral characteristic that kind of cascades over top of it. And then it's like this flavor that's like old, like the aroma of old stacks of like newspapers or something like that. And then you move into some orange notes as well. So some nice popping citrus notes mixing with vanilla that at times can come off like a orange creamsicle, if you will, or I think the first time I tried this, I said it tasted like, if you remember these things, maybe you have no familiarity with them, but like a chocolate pudding pop, a chocolate vanilla swirl pudding pop with some orange citrus mixed in there. The vanilla, the creaminess comes out. You get some good rye spice, and what continues the longer you have the glass open is the stewed, brandied cherry note that almost tastes like you're drinking a cocktail, but you're not. And when I first tried this, I don't even think I knew that it was a rye at first. Just the flavors were so good. It had some elegance to it, had a lot of complexity to it, and let alone had no idea it was a 5-year rye. Now, what I want to make nods to is the Bardstown Bourbon Company, Chateau de la Baude. Now, I should probably preface with what this Starlight isn't compared to the BBC. So the BBC is MGP product. It's 11 or 12, I don't remember, years old. It's aged in Armagnac. The proof is higher. So there are certain things that it is not. So it's not going to be as oaky. It's not going to be as strong. And there's a lot of flavors that it just isn't. So one thing I love about the BBC is that immediately on the nose, it smells like a dusty whiskey. It smells older, mustier, funkier, woodier, leatherier. This maple sweetness that's just super inviting. So some of these things you don't get on the Starlight, but what you do get, if you're someone who likes MGP products, if you like OKI, on top of what is already seems like a delicious MGP product at that age. So where you get these corky characteristics. You get this leather. You get this old oak and wood. More than that, you get this layer on top. There's elegance, this citrus spice, these characteristics that just really polish off and finish what is already a good whiskey. And I wanted to make note of that because it's similar to what's happening in the Starlight. You have what's already seeming like a good rye whiskey, though it's a little younger, and you add in some elegance, some spice, some citrus, some nuance that layers on top similarly. So if you liked the Chateau de la Baude Bardstown Bourbon Company, and if you liked it for its finishing reasons, I think what Starlight's doing specifically with this cognac, and specifically with the cognac finished rye, although I know they have bourbons coming out and I can't wait to try those, I think you'll really enjoy what they're doing with the finishing, even though I imagine their finishing processes are different. There's something about it that can be appreciated if you appreciate what's happening in the Bardstown Bourbon Company Chateau de la Baude. So again, thanks for tuning into this video. I want to make it really quick, but I wanted to get some reviews out there for you guys. Let me know again in the comments if there's something else you want me to check out. I'd love to talk with you guys as well. Shoot me a line. Be sure to be checking out the Entry Proof podcast or follow me along at Abandoned Bourbon or at Abandoned Coffee on Instagram. Until next time, we'll see you guys.